who the hell cares about working on crypto and developing on crypto when I'm about to be drafted?
Web3 is changing. The largest ticket seller in the world. Tesla. Elon Musk just changed his Twitter logo.
If a war occurs that we end up calling World War III, it will definitely evolve out of what's going on in the Middle East and what happened.
There's no question.
And what happened in Ukraine, right?
There's no question.
And so that, to me, says let's take a look at what occurred 2 years ago when the Russian-Ukrainian conflict entered its current hot phase.
Yeah.
Right. And so the market conditions were a little bit different at the outset. It was a warmer market, but it was on the downside, right? It was on the downhill slope of a bull market. And but what we did see is during that period of time, and this is part of my report that I did for the NCRI on the topic, over I would say it was like $750 million, no, $500 million was raised for mission-driven, increasingly anti-state, anti-governmental funds. Like the $100 million was raised for Julian Assange.
Yeah.
$100 million, $115 million was raised for Ukrainian evacuation and resistance. You had $6 million that was raised for Ross Ulbricht. You had $10 million that was raised for the Ottawa trucker protest, all on crypto, all mission-driven. So what I'm saying is that in a period of time, and we all know that speech gets restrictive during war.
Yeah.
Privacy gets restricted during war. That's when the Patriot Act came out, was during our last major world conflict. So that's when crypto's time is to shine.
It's an interesting take. I don't disagree, but I don't think that the level of adoption is quite there yet.
But it will drive adoption, that's my point. It drove adoption in Ukraine. They set up a digital ministry, Ministry of Digital Transformation, which was all about educating the Ukrainian and local Ukrainian and Ukrainian expat community on how to use all manner of digital tool, including crypto. Including DAOs. Alona Shevchenko, my co-founder at Ukraine DAO, played a large role in defining that curriculum. It was subsequently asked to speak at the next Davos convention in, for what is that called? The World Economic Forum. To talk about her, the idea of sovereign DAOs and DAOs for, resistance movements. So this is a thing.
And we know crypto is definitely, picked up in activity since this war has started, and not saying because of terrorists or anything. I'm just saying when people don't have access to one thing or another, they're going to go to something that's easily accessible. And if you have an internet connection, you can basically use crypto now.
Right.
So it'd be interesting to see if conflict escalated, how that would affect the crypto industry. But one could probably assume that it would drive adoption to some degree because people need that kind of access. But on the other side of the coin, the prices of things and the actual, market growth and market, like the development, the maturity of the market is probably going to stagnate a little bit, because who the hell cares about working on crypto and developing on crypto when I'm about to be drafted?
Well, yeah, that's always the case, right? Bull markets are not good for devs, right? It's not building season. It's cash in and buy a Lambo season, right? So, but this isn't just, you can even look further back in crypto's history to see evidence that, not to say that I'm pro-war, but conflict, strife, and negative economic circumstances are good things for Bitcoin and crypto. The first major bull run was driven by austerity measures in Cyprus, where basically it was the beginning of all the austerity movement in the EU, and they were saying, well, Cyprus has to pay some bills because we owe too many countries too much money. So we're just going to take everybody that has a bank account in Cyprus is going to take a haircut. And it was like the first major boom for Bitcoin's price. It shot up over $113.
Makes me want to take all my money out the bank and put it in Bitcoin.
Right, and then the same thing happened with the other pigs nations in the EU, Portugal, Italy, Greece, Spain, and similar, mini bubbles emerged after their austerity measures were announced, and Bitcoin was an available way for people to preserve their wealth.
Yeah.
And look at Venezuela. Look, every place where economic collapse has happened, it has been a boon for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies.
So you're saying war and conflict is good for the Bitcoin market?
It's not bad for it.
So you're also saying Logan Paul caused what's going on in the Middle East right now?
I mean, I don't know that, but it sounds like a good scapegoat. Let's call
Definitely
it.
Definitely a correlation there. Definitely.
Just mining the clips, right?
Yeah, no, of course. That was great.
Hey, thanks for watching The Merge. We've got a ton more stuff for you to watch on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, everywhere. Check us out.